Okay, so vamos a visitar algunas de las plazas más famosas de toda España. Estas plazas forman parte de la historia española y la cultura de las corridas. Toreros de toda España que quieren la oportunidad de participar en una corrida en estas tres plazas históricas. So, en Madrid podemos ver la plaza más grande, construida en 1929. La plaza se llama Las Ventas y tiene una capacidad máxima de 25,000 aficionados. So, ¿es más grande que Owen Stadium o menos grande que Owen Stadium? It says 25,000 personas. So what did we say that our stadium held? 85,000. So es pequeño, es más pequeño, ¿sí? Es más pequeño que nuestro estadio, pero es diferente, es muy diferente. La arquitectura de la plaza se llama neomudéjar por la influencia de los moros de África. Do you know what a moro is? What are the Moors? Do you know what language they spoke? Okay, los moros de África son árabes. They're Arabic. They actually conquered Spain in 711. And there's a lot of Arabic influence in Spain. Like there's lots of mosques. The architecture is very Arabic. And there's some words that they took from the Arabic language. So that is part of why that architecture we're going to look at Las Ventas right here, actually. The architecture from this Plaza de Toros looks a lot like the Arabic architecture. So, let's look at the first picture here. It's muy grande, no? So, if you'll see I'm going to stand right here. The arcs in the windows, those are like Arabic influence. Es muy grande. Y es de piedra or ladrilla? Is it stone or brick? It's brick, right. It's big though, very big. See, about 4 stories tall, right? And it looks, we'll go back here. It says, La Plaza de Toros de las Ventas, known simply as Las Ventas, is the largest bullfighting ring in Spain, located in the Guindalera quarter of the Salamanca district. And it was inaugurated in June 17th, 1931. 23,798, but we rounded it up to 25. You never know. But it's different because it's a ceramic incrustations. That's kind of a weird word. Definitely a Moorish style. And the seats are situated in 10 tendidos. And it just depends on where you sit. If you are in the shade, look at how big that is here. Look at this picture. If you're in the shady parts up here, these are kind of like the box seats, right? It cuesta más que los boletos en el sol. So if you're in the sun, you're cheaper. It's a cheaper ticket than if you sit up here. But it's redondo, right? What does redondo mean? Sí, muy redondo, muchas personas, y muy bonito. Okay. But you can see the arcs at the top too that are kind of. From 1913 to 1920, bullfighting gained such a momentum that Madrid's former main bull ring at the Carretera de Aragon was not big enough. So this person, Joselito, decided that they needed a monumental building, and so or bull ring, and that's why they built that. Here's another picture. This is, what are those statues of? What are these statues right here? What is that? Are they women?
No.
They're the matadores, right? The toreros, see? You can see their hats and their capes. Enfrente de la Plaza de Toros. Muy grande. Muy bonito. Okay, so that's the one in Madrid, which is the capital. All right, so we're going to go back to the reading. Sí. Okay, so la segunda Plaza de Toros. Sevilla. ¿Dónde está Sevilla? Es una ciudad en España, right? ¿Sí? ¿En el sur or en el norte? Just take a guess. ¿En el sur or en el norte? Sur, sí, en el sur. Hace mucho calor en Sevilla. Okay, so en Sevilla, en el sur de España, es una área muy bonita. Las casas, la plaza y toda la arquitectura son de color blanco. So everything is blanco. Hace mucho calor en Sevilla y el color blanco ayuda a mantener una temperatura tolerable. So in Spain, en España, no hay aire acondicionado como en Oklahoma. Like some of the hotels and apartments and houses, they don't have AC. And it gets really hot in the summer. I would say in 80s, 90s in Sevilla. So la Plaza de Toros en Sevilla se llama La Maestranza. Es una de las plazas más bonitas de toda España y está situada en el centro de la ciudad. Y puedes verla muy bien desde la Torre Giralda, la torre más alta de toda España. So it's right in the middle of town, muy blanco y muy bonito. Vamos a ver una foto. Do you hear the weather? Gosh. I hope you're not walking home today. All right, so here is a photo of the Plaza de Toros en Sevilla. Mira, es como una cara, ¿no? Tiene ojos, right? Ojos y una nariz y una boca. En mi opinión, pero es bonito, es diferente, ¿no? Y tiene las banderas españolas aquí enfrente, pero no es menos grande. No es muy grande. Let's go back and we'll see another picture. So the Plaza de Toros de la Real Maestranza de Caballería de Sevilla, it only seats 12,000, 12,000 personas. So it's half of the other one, right? And it's in Sevilla. One of the most well-known bullfighting festivals in the world is there, and they have a very big tradition. Here's the inside of it. Look at that. It looks bigger from the picture, but it's más pequeña. ¿Por qué? There's more seating up here, more shade, pero hay también asientos en el sol, y es redondo también. It looks like they're closer to the action than the other one, don't you think? Like they're right there. And then this is the clay roof, the ceramic roof that's curved like that. A lot of the buildings have that in España, see? And this is like dirt, kind of like a baseball infield. And they'll chalk it out and everything. Okay, let's see if we can find another picture. So, one more, there's one. This one has you can see a close-up of the seats. This is kind of where the rich people, this may be where the presidente sits, right there. And then you have the people in the shade, and then las personas en el sol. Es bonito, see? We don't have buildings quite as interesting, I think, than they do in Europe. And then here are some posters of some bullfights that are actually in the Plaza de Toros. Okay, so what do you think? Es más bonita que la Plaza de Toros en Madrid? Vamos a leer más. Okay. So, finalmente, la Plaza de Toros más vieja de toda España está situada en Ronda. Ronda, como Sevilla, está en el sur de España. La plaza se llama Plaza de Toros de Ronda, muy original, ¿no? Construida entre 1779 y 1785. So, es más vieja, right? Más anciana. La Plaza de Toros de Ronda es la plaza más vieja en España y algunas personas la consideran la más bonita también por su arquitectura antigua. La plaza tiene adornos muy detallados, como ves en la foto. We're going to see more photos because those are black and white and not great. So Ronda is a smaller town in Spain, and this is what the Plaza de Toros looks like in Ronda. It's un poco más pequeño. Creo que hay 5,000 personas. 5,000 personas en la Plaza de Toros en Ronda. Pero es blanco como la Plaza de Toros en Sevilla, right? Let's go back. we have, this is an old photo of back in the 1800s. You can see it in the middle of town, right? It's kind of like a big hole. Pero es la Plaza de Toros en Ronda. Sí, con la ciudad aquí. Y también, let's look inside. Inside we have, look at that. It's a little, what's different? What do you see different? It's all shaded. Good job, Mariana. There are no seats in the sun. Well, there are, I guess, if the sun's, depending on where the sun is sitting. But eventually you will be in the shade. You're not going to be in the sun all day, so that's good, right? ¿Sí? Pero no hay muchos asientos y están muy cerca de la acción, right? And it's like 2 levels instead of 3, I think. You can see some people there having a picnic or something, I don't know. But muy interesante. Muy similar. Okay, so, let's see, there's one more foto, una foto más. This is una estatua de un toro muy grande en frente de la Plaza de Toros en Ronda. And then we can read a little bit about it. It sounds like someone's name, doesn't it? City of Ronda is home to the Real Maestranza de Caballeria, the oldest and most noble order of horsemanship in Spain since 1495. 1495. In that year, the Catholic King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella won Ronda back from the Moors. So that, at that point, the Moors had it 700 years. They were in Spain for 700 years. And then the Queen and King won back the city and kicked the Moors out. But they left their, a lot of their, influences. The construction of the bull ring started in 1779 and finished in 1785, and it stands on the west edge of Ronda, 2 blocks from Puente Nuevo, and it's the oldest fighting ring in Spain. And let's see here, what else does it say? Soon after the ring's creation in the 18th century, the Romero family of Ronda emerged to provide over the 3 generations of bullfighters. The most important of them was Pedro Romero. He was one of the famous, and Pedro, actually in his lifetime, he killed 5,600 bulls in his lifetime. That's crazy, isn't it?
Do you have any idea how old he was whenever he started?
I don't know, it doesn't say. Well, it says he was born in 1754 and died in 1839, but I don't know how old he was when he started fighting bulls. So, that's crazy, right? 5,600 bulls. He slew them, he killed them. And he came from a long, huh?
Approximately 50?
Maybe. I mean, I would say in his late teens, early 20s, because back then, they probably started way earlier.
Yeah.
I would think.
That makes sense. It is
There is a museum dedicated to bullfighting as well. 2 centuries of famous bullfighting regalia and important outfits, so that's kind of cool. I'd like to see that. But yes. So Ronda got some rich history in bullfighting. Y ahora